And now it's time for more of Southern California's sports fishing voice. Let's talk hookup. This portion of the show is sponsored in part by Ford, the official truck of Let's Talk Hookup. Rancho Leonero, where your wildest Baja dreams come true. Maui Jim Sunglasses, the choice of the best captains. Shimano Rods and Reels, fish with the best. Shimano. And by Yamaha Outboards, official motor sponsor of Let's Talk Hookup. Here we go. Another great hour of Southern California's sports fishing voice. Let's Talk Hookup. Here's Pete Gray and Rock Cod Rick Maxa.
Welcome back, hour number 2. Let's Talk Hookup on the Mighty 1090. Pete Gray here with Rock Cod Rick Maxa, Dale Hightower from Seaguar, Mike Wynn from Turner's Outdoorsman, talking fishing here in Southern California. It's prime.
It is prime, dude.
It's August the 1st on Tuesday. Game on.
Yeah, no doubt. And
right
just
now.
Hearing those catch reports today, hearing all the stories, all the guys calling them from the boats, it's all happened. That's what's so cool about it right now. It's all happening. What do you want to catch? Yellow-tailed, Dorado, yellowfin tuna, bluefin tuna, calico bass, on the beach, offshore,
Dorado.
kelp
Good
patties,
Dorado.
out the island. This is so cool, man.
Yeah,
we're having a great time, and we're having a great show this morning. And if you want to be a part of it, there's plenty of time for you to call in, another full hour of your phone calls. And if you want to get through, there's 2 ways you can be a part of Let's Talk Hookup this morning. First is with our local line, which is 858 area code 457-1090. Again, 858-457-1090. Or call us toll-free. That toll-free line, 877-792-1090. One more time, 877-792-1090. Not only are we taking your phone calls, Mike and Dale answering all your fishing questions, tackle questions, rigging questions, we are also giving away 2 great prizes at the end of the show today. First of which, one lucky caller is going to get a $50 gift card to any Turner's Outdoorsman location, any of the 19, soon to be 21? 22 locations.
Now can you use that gift card online?
And
as well?
online, yes.
Really?
So
Turners.com or at any of the 19 locations.
Correct. That's awesome. And with that $50 shopping spree you're going on, you're also going to get a 50-yard spool, a 50-pound Seaguar Premier Fluorocarbon, the Mega Spool. So that's a great prize for one lucky caller. Then another lucky caller going to win a second $50 gift card to Turner's Outdoorsman. And again, these are 50-yard spools, 30-pound, and a 50-yard spool of 40-pound Seaguar Premier Fluoro.
Like $50 each?
At least, yeah. I mean, these are great, great prizes. So awesome for 2 lucky callers. We sure appreciate you guys for supplying that great gear for our lucky listeners there.
Our listeners are happy now, so let's go ahead and jump into it.
Tim in San Diego, you're up next on Let's Talk Hookup. Good morning, Tim.
Good morning, fellas. Thanks for taking my call. I look forward to your show every week. I get something out of it. It's a real pleasure listening to you.
Thank you.
Quick. Excuse me. I'm sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, okay. Just quick question. Is there any? I used to do a lot of freshwater fishing, and I fished with some guys that are pretty good. But there's certain combinations where they go mono to braid, braid to mono. Is there anything that you don't do? Like fluoro to fluoro. And then another question was, do you put any kind of? I know there's no memory when you go straight from braid to fluoro. Do you ever put any mono in between as a shock absorber, I guess, or anything like that?
All right. Well, I'm going to answer the second question. I'll let Mike answer the first. I'm an absolute believer in that we just eliminate monofilament from this conversation. Okay. So I just think there's so many great reels that Turner sells, Fisherman's Landing, all the retailers here in Southern California. These little small 2-speed. They're 4-wheel drive reels that are the size of almost a bass reel.
Yeah. That
are meant to put braid and fluorocarbon on to pull hard. And when you put mono to take shock away, I think you take performance away. So I think I'm a firm believer in most of the stuff I've got all rigged up. In fact, every reel I've got rigged up to fish on this deal is going to be braid to fluoro, and the only I'll put like a little asterisk on there. There's a lot of people that still like to fish for surface iron, like throwing surface iron. They still like that mono castability, and that would be it. Now, personally, I still fish braid to fluoro, but the deckhands like to give me a little bit of bad time because they're old school on that. They still like to fish and for any other reason, castability. Mm-hmm. They like the way that like mono cast on a surface iron. Then that's it. But aside from that, flat out braid to fluoro.
Mike, your thoughts?
Yeah, I agree. I'm pretty much the same way. In freshwater, I'll fish braid to fluoro on my drop shot stuff. You don't have to change out the line, and it sinks a little better. You get that sensitivity. If you're fishing mono and then tying on fluoro, you're just deadening it all, and you're not really feeling that stuff. You know, it's California. You know, you're drop shotting, and especially this time of year, you'll be drop shotting out in 40 to 60 feet of water, and you're with the braid to fluoro, you can actually feel the bite and know what you're fishing down there. You know, instead of it just being super spongy, you can feel the bottom, you can feel the rocks, you can feel whatever. So when you're in mud, when you're in gravel.
Exactly. Now, when you're tournament bass fishing, you do a lot of calico bass fishing. Mm-hmm. There's no mono involved in that whatsoever.
I have one.
Do you?
Like my super, this is if it's horrible fishing, like a 3 or 4 inch swim bait, a reel filled with 12-pound mono.
Okay.
That's like
just tied straight to the fish.
Super stealthy.
Yeah. If it's just not biting.
If it's awful and I need to catch a fish, then I'll have one rod.
3-inch swim bait.
Yeah.
12-pound
quarter ounce, 3/8 ounce lead head on straight 12-pound.
Okay.
You're able to get 4, but you need a 5th fish, and you can't do it for the save your life. You gotta scratch something out.
But most of the time it never gets used.
Very good. Thanks a lot for the call this morning.
All right. How about we jump back in and talk to Mike? He's calling us from Chino this morning. What's up, Mike? Welcome to Let's Talk Hookup.
Mike.
Hey, good morning, Rick. Good morning, Pete and Mike, Turner's Outdoorsman. Hey, I live up here in Chino, and I go to the Chino Hills store quite a bit, and I met a guy there who's really cool. His name's Mark. He's a manager. He's really knowledgeable. And I talked him into getting a rendition of the Yummy Flyer about 3 months ago, and it's been selling pretty good. But I have a question about the fluorocarbon for Dale. What's the best brand? I'm using the not the red, but not the blue, but the what do you call it?
The pink.
Yeah, no, not pink.
Premier.
The all-purpose stuff.
Premier.
Yeah, the Premier. What is your take? What's the best fluorocarbon? I'm going to be doing a trip here on the Pacific Queen in about a month. I just pulled my reel up with a 100-pound braid. I want to know what the best connection, because I'm thinking about doing a crimp connection from my braid to fluorocarbon. I've been tossing that back and forth. What is a uni to uni knot better or what?
All right, so if you have 100 pounds, so first of all, I'd ask the question: is it hollow core? Is it like the Seaguar Threadlock 16-strand hollow core?
It's Power Pro.
So it's solid.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I would have probably talked you into
or it could strictly be hollow too.
Yeah, it could be hollow, but the hollow gives you much more connections on that big stuff, and I think that Pete and Rick and Michael agree that when you have hollow core, you can insert the leader material into the braid. You can make a loop out of the braid and do wind-on leaders. And when we're talking crimps, I'm assuming talking like the Sato crimp system, which I recommend.
Right.
I know that. So
love the Sato.
Yeah, if you don't have hollow core, you can't really use the Sato crimp connection unless I stand corrected. There's no
unless you put a piece of hollow at the end of what he's doing.
Right. So you want to make sure that you got hollow, and then I think the connections become a little bit easier. So that's why I think most of us fish it. It goes through the guide super smooth when you do the connections right. And as far as if you're fishing 100-pound, I'm assuming you're fishing big fish. So if it's flat fall, or I'd be definitely using Blue Label. And if it's live bait fishing, I'd be fishing that Flora Premier that you talked about.
Okay. Yeah. Now, Seaguar doesn't make solid. They make only hollow.
Yeah, we make our
Threadlock.
Our Threadlock is 16-strand hollow core, and we make it from 50-pound to 200.
To 200.
Yeah, and it's ridiculously easy to work with.
Yep.
It lays on a
Very
reel.
good.
You get about 10% more than competitors. I'll just say competitors, but you get about 10% more. I love it because it's so smooth. So on this trip, I'll be fishing it like in 50 and 60 for some of the lighter outfits. And I use the John Collins knot, so I'm not connecting it via the connections we talked about. I just like it because it's smooth. It doesn't tear my hands up. I could load it on a line winder and not have to use a glove. And I know that Rick and Mike both fishermen and Turner sells the Seaguar Threadlock, and they'll probably attest to it. It's just such an easy product to work with, and I definitely think that's the future in this fishing is definitely braid and flow.
Right.
It's here.
Do you ever see Seaguar coming out with a solid braid?
We've talked about it. That market's pretty tough in that there's a lot of price issues. There's a lot of companies coming out with lower cost braid, And where we feel right now is that threadlock is the best product on the market. It's a little higher priced than other products, but the performance is there. And just like everything else that Seaguar does, they want to go after the performance aspect of it. So in the braid, they feel like they've got that 16-strand performance in the hollow core.
A lot of different types of braid on the market. How many different brands do you carry at Turner's Outdoorsman?
Too many.
Too many, yeah.
No, there is a ton of braid options out there. And, going back to the, if you have solid on your reel, you can always do a splice from solid to hollows, so that you can do use the Sato crimp kit or do wind-ons or whatever. And you can still make them fairly clean. So, that is an option.
Indeed. Hey, thanks a lot for the phone call this morning. I want to remind you, next Saturday, this coming Saturday, August 5th, North County Ford in Vista is the place you need to be from 7 to 9 a.m. It's our next San Diego County Ford dealer live remote, and your second to last chance to qualify for the big grand prizes. The first prize is a Hobie Mirage Drive kayak from Fastlane Kayaks in Mission Bay, along with a trip to Cedros kayak fishing. You just heard Jeff earlier in the show on Cedros Island. Prize number 2, it's no slouch either. It's a 4-night fishing package for 2 at Palmas de Cortez and Baja's East Cape, and includes round-trip ticket from San Diego to Los Cabos on Alaska Airlines. Hey, be sure to check that Alaska Airlines banner. Always great deals and great stuff at AlaskaAir.com. Hey, we also are giving away a trip on the Blackjack, courtesy of Dana Landing in Mission Bay, Shimano Rods and Reels, Maui Jim Sunglasses, a whole bunch more. Hey, Prize Cowboy's going to be there. He's going to have a bunch of great stuff to give away just for showing up this Saturday at North County Ford in Vista. It's easy to find right off the 78 freeway in Vista. We're going to be there 7 and 9 a.m. We have the cast man, Richard Castaneda from Cast Tours, going to be our guest there. It's going to be a great time, and you have a chance to win the grand prizes as well as all the other great prizes and the casting contest and the random draw, the whole deal. Fun time. North County Ford in Vista. Those guys have been great to work with. We're looking forward to being there. North County Ford in Vista. We'll see you there on Saturday.
All right, let's jump right back into the phones. We're going to talk to Vinny. Call us from Carlsbad. Vinny, thanks for hanging in there with us.
Yeah, hey, my question is, how long of a top shot should be tied on, to my 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 80? What do you guys recommend?
It all varies. A lot of it's personal preference. Some guys like fishing that, 6 feet, 8 feet. For my, bait fishing, I've kind of gone to a little bit longer. I'm fishing 15 to 20 feet. But it really varies. Like when I fish surface iron, Spectra to fluoro, it's 5 feet. So
I'd say most of the stuff, as much as I like to tell you that you should put a whole spool on it.
Yeah.
But I'd say I like to have the knot outside the tip of the guide is kind of my deal. So most of the time I'm going to say 6-foot leader. The only exception I have on that is when I'm doing wind-ons for, some of the bigger tuna fishing. So the wind-ons I probably are looking about 15-foot leaders with the, the Sato crimp system. And
I kind of like to go the length of the rod.
Yeah. Keeping that, that way gives you a little chance to maybe do a couple reties if you need to without having to put a new piece of fluorocarbon on.
Yeah. So it all depends on so when you're fishing like a flat fall for 100-pound bluefin, how much will you put on?
I'd probably still put 6 feet.
6 feet.
Yeah, I mean, if you hook one, you don't know where it's going to get hooked at. It could get belly hooked.
Yeah.
And you do the math. Those fish aren't 2 feet long, so I want to get past the gill plate and teeth.
I'm with Mike. I do two arms lengths. I just grab my spool and I rip off 2 arms lengths worth, which is probably about 12 feet or something, 6 foot of pull, something
big
like
arms.
that. Yeah, wow, got wings like this guy. Yeah. Flying cast over those mountains over there.
That's right. Yeah. Big time. Hey, hope that helps you out. It's there's no set. Yeah. It's just what's comfortable for you and what works. But yeah.
And a lot of it comes down to the scenario that you're fishing in too. If you're fishing on a private boat by yourself, nobody else to deal with, no other lines in the water, you fish a 6-foot top shot, no problem. If you spend 100% of your time on an overnight boat with a mixed crowd of people, some of which are expert anglers and some of which not at all, and your skill set somewhere in between, A longer top shot can, for sure. I know, Dale's a very accomplished angler, so fishing a very short top shot for him 100% of the time makes the most sense because he's very aware and very able to keep in front of his bait and avoid tangles and things like that. Sometimes fishing on a sport boat, your 3 feet of Seaguar fluorocarbon after, 100 feet of mono or 100 yards of mono is a really good way to go, too. You still get your bite, but it's a lot easier to fish a bait. It's a lot easier for a guy that's less comfortable to cast a bait. I mean, you still back your reel with Seaguar thread lock. You still put your longer top shot on there and tie your fluoro top. But, when you're fishing with 30 or 40 guys at a time of ranging skill sets, sometimes having some mono makes it a whole lot easier to fish your bait and avoid problems.
Good point. Hey, thanks a lot for the phone call this morning.
All right, how about next up we talk to Ruben. He's calling us from Echo Park this morning. Hi, Ruben. Welcome to Let's Talk Hookup.
Hey, good morning. Oh, my goodness. You guys have had back-to-back great shows, and I'd love to talk fluorocarbon. I jumped on fluorocarbon when it first came out from Seaguar, and it's up my game. And, by the way, Pink Label is outstanding. I used to fish Andy in the day, Andy Pink Label, and I was catching 2-to-1 the guy next to me. And now I fish that Pink Label Seaguar.
Yeah.
And it works.
I'm a Pink believer, too. I like it.
Well, thank you very much.
Oh, no, thank you. It's been a game changer for me in my angling, and I just want to thank you guys for having great shows, great guys on there. And I got a charter going on next week. I'm taking my son fishing, and life couldn't be better.
There you go, Ruben.
Attaboy. Hey, Ruben, thanks a lot for the phone call this morning. Appreciate that. Hey, I want to remind you, coming up, the 34th annual Lou Duchesne Memorial Big Fish Tournament. It's a benefit for kids fishing programs. It's August 26th and 27th. However, this Thursday is the kickoff seminar at the Valley High in San Diego. Huge raffle, fantastic prizes, and Pepe's awesome fish tacos for $1 each. How about that? And they have an early bird entry for $75. That's good through Saturday. And they're going to be having a captain's meeting and stuff. So you want to see that, the Big Fish kickoff seminar at the Valley High. Great seminar going on Thursday, August 3rd, 7 p.m. If you want more information, ask Rhonda at San Diego rodandreel.com for more information on that. But go check it out at the Valley High this Thursday, 7 p.m. Fish tacos and a great seminar.
Right. Going to be a good time. I think Bob Woodard's doing the seminar
Bob Woodard
for
Jr.,
him.
yeah.
I know Rhonda and Tom came in the store yesterday. We're all talking about it, getting a bunch of the prizes together for it. It's going to be that is one of the biggest
It's a big event.
Probably the biggest thing the Rod and Reel Club puts on a year. It's a really fun time. And with all this big tuna going on right now, it's going to be a mega, mega one.
Going to be a good tournament. Hey, all morning lines have been packed. Here's your chance to get through. 877-792-1090.
All right, let's jump right back into the phones. This time we're going to talk to Richard, calling us from Monrovia. Hi, Richard. Welcome to Let's Talk Hookup.
Good morning, all. Hey, first off, before I get to my question, I want to say hi to Mike. We used to work together at Turner's in Fountain Valley way back when, fishing Newport Harbor at night between the docks. So, the spotties.
Richard in Monrovia, yeah.
Richard Martin?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
And I used to,
hey, Richard, how's it going?
and I used to be the Seaguar rep, too, after that.
Wow. Oh, yeah.
So, small world. So, Ricky knows me from that business.
That's awesome.
And I don't want to, first off, encourage everybody to support the dealers and the manufacturers support Let's Talk Hookup and the CCA.
Yes, thank you for that.
Because if you're a hunter or gun owner, you know what Turner's has done to support your rights in the state. And if you're buying from an out-of-state retailer, that money is not going back into this business here to protect our rights as fishermen as well. That matters in this state. So please sponsor these guys. Buy your product there, not online. So, and then my question. I got a trip, went to Cedros. I won from an auction with CCA this Friday.
Sweet.
And I know what to bring when I'm fishing my kayak on the beach along the coast of Baja. But I'm stressing because I don't know what rods and reels I have to be limited to on that flight and the terminal tackle. So, guys, What do I need to bring?
On the flight, you are allowed one free rod. The rest of them you pay for, but it's only $5 a rod or something like that. I think they charge you or something like that. I know I brought 4 total rods. Mike, what do you bring?
Yeah, I bring 4 rods. I mean, I know it's kind of weird that people listen. Like, I could care less about the yellowtail fishing, so I only bring one.
You're a calico guy.
Yeah, I bring one rod for yellow fishing, and it's like a 7.5, 40, 50-pound rod that I can still fish surface iron and yo-yo and bait fish with. But I bring 3 swim bait rods, 8-footers, 1 7-footer for the slug because it's so fun to fish. But,
yeah.
I mean, that's what I pretty much fish, some 1 ounce or 1.5 ounce lead heads and 5-inch swim baits, and then I fish a lot of weedless baits.
Yeah. So. And if you're going to troll some Rapalas, the X-Rap Magnum 20s, 30s, really, very effective. Are you fishing from the kayak?
No, I will be actually on the Pongas.
Okay,
this time.
Yeah. Make sure everybody I talk to, Jeff. I talked to Jeff yesterday. He just came back. He said the Rapalas were absolutely on fire down there. And then you heard Jeff earlier in the show. Different Jeff Rodriguez, Jeff Mariani. Yeah, all of them are saying the Rapalas are just killing it down there.
And, you don't need a ton of tackle down there. With that said, the overage is not that expensive either.
Not.
It's like a few pesos per kilo. It's just not that big of a deal. If you're overweight, maybe you got to throw an extra $20 at your tackle to have everything you need. So
yeah,
you're good. Don't sweat it. Bring an extra $100 with you, and that will way more than cover every bit of overage you have coming there, coming back, your fish, the whole 9.
There you go. Thanks a lot for the call this morning.
All right, let's jump back into the phones. This time we're going to talk to Bruce, calling us from La Mesa this morning. Hi, Bruce. Welcome to Let's Talk Hookup.
Hi, Bruce.
Hey, good morning, guys. Just questions for Dale and Mike. What's your dream fish? The best fish you could possibly catch, the one you're targeting.
Good question.
All right, I'll go first. I'd like to catch another cow, yellowfin. I've gotten one.
Really?
Yeah. It happened in the dark.
You're a glutton for punishment.
Yeah, no, I am. That's the thing. I'm looking forward to an hour-plus battle. Mine was kind of a nighttime fish that didn't make big runs. Wasn't kamikaze, but didn't make the big runs. And I think I want one that I didn't feel like I earned it, even though everybody said you earned it. You got up and you put a bait in the water and you got bit first. So.
Oh, yeah.
But I still think I'd like to get drug around the boat for a while.
How big was that fish that you caught?
228.
228.
And I don't have a number associated with it. I just catch another cow that drags me around the boat.
You remember this conversation?
Yeah, no, I am.
You remember this point in time right now when it's the middle of the day and it's tough to get a bite. And you dropped down to a reel that was probably too small for you to be fishing, but you did it anyways. And you're fishing 100-pound Premier because it was really tough, and you had to scratch a bite out, and you got an 8.0 hook, and you hook a 240. I want you to remember this time right now.
And that will be my dream fish, right?
You're an hour and a half into it, and it's still way outside, and you thought you had it settled down at 45 minutes, and it took off again. Just let's all return back to this moment when we're all sitting around with your buddies.
They always say, be careful for what you ask for in life, right? So, that's the one.
Cool.
Mike?
I really want a 10-pound calico.
Yeah.
Oh, the Holy Grail.
Yeah. I mean, I've been around some big ones. My biggest is a 9.3, and same thing, it didn't pull. I thought I hooked like a shark or something on a swim bait, and
where was it?
On the break wall at like 3 in the morning.
Oh, wow.
It was straight up and down. My buddy caught like a 7-pounder. I'm like, oh, that's a really nice fish, and I get bit, and I start pulling on this thing, and I'm like, hey, hold on, let me get this fish up real quick. I was like, it's fighting really weird. I think it's a shark or something. And it comes up, I'm like, oh, that's a nice fish, and I bounced it in the boat, and I was like,
oh my God, it's really nice.
That's a really good one. But I mean, yeah, like I was with my buddy. He got a 9.13 that was spawned out at PV, and then the next year we went out and he got an 11-pounder, and I'm like, man, why can't I catch it? I want a big one.
If it could be anywhere, where would you catch it? On the beach, Clemente, at Cedro, you know what I mean? Like where would it mean the most if you're lucky enough to get that
for
thing?
sure. If it came off the beach, that would be an awesome.
That'd be
fish.
all time.
I mean, most likely it'll be Catalina. I mean, if you want a big one, Catalina's a place.
That's a spot,
to get a double-digit fish. I think
they live there. Hey, thanks a lot for the call.
And when we come back, we got more Let's Talk Hookup coming your way. More of your phone calls and more of this great information. You stay tuned. It's Let's Talk Hookup on the mighty 1090.
Great boats, free parking, and a fully stocked tackle shop. Just a few of the reasons Seaforth Sport Fishing is a favorite among anglers. Come aboard top charter boats like the Aztec, Cortez, Endeavor, Eclipse, Apollo, Outer Limits, Pacific Star, El Gato Dos, Alexis, Pride, Privateer, Tribute, Pacific Voyager, and the Voyager. Plus, the new Seaforth Sea Watch in San Diego offer the finest half, three-quarter, and full-day trips available. Check out the full-service tackle store at Seaforth Sport Fishing. And it's all run by fishermen for fishermen. 1717 Quivira Road, just off Mission Bay Drive in Mission Bay. Book online at seaforthlanding.com.
When you put on a pair of Maui Jim sunglasses, the world begins to look different. Colors are more vivid. Contrast is clearer. Details are crisper. Wherever your vision leads you, beauty follows. With polarized lenses that eliminate glare and enhance color, Maui Jim sunglasses won't change the world. They'll change the way you see it. Color, clarity, detail. Maui Jim.
If you've been searching for that perfect inshore and offshore boat, Defiance is the one. Go far and stay dry is the Defiance slogan. And that is exactly what you get in these overbuilt, trailerable offshore boats. Inland Boat Center has the Defiance you are looking for in stock, ready to fish. A huge 2.5-acre indoor showroom. And over 300 new and pre-owned boats for everyone. Family-owned and operated. Their customer service is the finest available. They take trades of all types and offer amazing financing deals. Check out Inland Boat Center's inventory of Defiance Pilot House boats online, including the Admiral 22 and the San Juan 25. Solid construction with no wood to ever rot. Defiance boats are built to last. It is the peak of the season, and the Defiance boat deals have never been better. Along with great financing, you could be fishing next week in your new boat for much less than you ever thought possible. Inland Boat Center, 681 East Jacinto in Paris. Check the website for the current inventory and more at inlandboatcenter.com.
Turner's Outdoorsman, Southern California's #1 shooting, hunting, and fishing tackle retailer since 1971, is right in your neighborhood. Now 18 stores throughout Southern California and 3 in San Diego County. Turner's Outdoorsman brings you the best prices and selection, plus a knowledgeable staff that will help make your day on the water or in the field more fun. Stop by your neighborhood Turner's Outdoorsman. To find the location nearest you, check the web at turners.com and sign up for special deals and more.
Have you ever purchased a surface iron or yo-yo jig and soon the paint is almost gone? Happens all the time, but not with Pacific Lures. Their goal to build a jig that looks like bait and lasts. And that is exactly what you get at Pacific Lures. The powder-coated jig body is extremely durable with high-resolution digital imagery of actual bait fish like mackerel, sardine, and squid. A TIG-welded solid stainless steel ring gives superior strength and no corrosion. It's digital, so Pacific Lures can do custom jigs too. Buy online at pacificlures.com or selected retailers. That's pacificlures.com.
XEPRS 1090 AM Rosarito, Baja California.
San Diego's sports leader.
The home of ESPN Radio.
The mighty 1090.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup on the mighty 1090.
All right, having a great show here with Dale Hightower from Seaguar. And, of course, our good buddy Mike Wynn from Turner's Outdoorsman, talking Turner's Outdoorsman now 19 stores strong, soon to be 22. That's pretty awesome.
That is
pretty
awesome.
Amazing. Growing company. You guys doing such a great job. Such a great team over there, too.
Yeah, we've got a great group of people, and
yeah,
and a couple of them are going fishing with us, and
yeah.
So,
are they good?
Yeah,
good.
Cool. So I can't say enough about the guys that work in the stores. They make it happen.
Yeah. You know? Brad Styler from Rapala was on the show yesterday, and we were talking about Turner's and what a great, not only from the management side, also all the way in the stores, what a great group of people you guys are. So that's what makes it, right? That's what makes it keeps it rolling. Yeah, and you guys stick. The other good sign of a good, well-run company is people stick around. You've been there for a long time.
Yeah, I've been there for quite a while, and a lot of our guys have been there for a long time, and we've picked up some really great people. So
and the head guy, the CEO, Brian, he started out there like way back, right?
Yeah, he's been with us for a long time, and he started out in the stores, and
that's so cool.
Yeah, now he's president CEO of the company.
Yeah, pretty neat deal. All right, hey, let's go ahead and jump into the phones.
You got it, man. Well, they are packed up. Everybody's excited to talk to the boys. How about we start this round off with Cliff, who's calling us from Lakewood this morning. Hi, Cliff. Welcome to Let's Talk Hookup.
Good morning, guys. How you guys doing this morning?
Great.
Hey, I love that pink fluorocarbon. I've had it for the last 5 years. I think that's the only thing I ever have is just pink fluorocarbon. But I love halibut fishing. Once in a while, I get tangled on the bottom, and that pink, gets tore up a bit. Is the Premier and the blue, would be better, and is the same line diameter, if I was wondering?
I would say pink and Premier have closer diameters. So diameter has a lot to do with abrasion resistance. Blue Label is a little bit more normal. And what I mean normal is like that's probably the size of everybody else's fluorocarbon. So, but Blue Label I would say would be something to try. If you're having some abrasion issues, you cannot go wrong with Blue Label. And it is
now there's a difference there. Talk about single structure versus double structure.
Yes,
that's important.
It's super important. So our two products on the top end of the scale are Premier and Blue Label, and those are both double structure fluorocarbons. And what that means is we use two different fluorocarbon resins, and we actually are able to control two different variables. One's tensile strength, which is how hard, how strong a line is, but more important is knot strength. So by using two different fluorocarbon resins, and it's not a coating, it's fused together. It's an exclusive process that only Seaguar does. We're able to fine tune those products to get better performance out of. So with Premier, we want it to be a little softer, a little bit better knot tying characteristics, and that's that live bait fishery for, we talk about sardines, daytime fishing.
It's fluoro that feels more like mono.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. And then, or like Tatsu, which I know it's a whole different category. Yeah, Tatsu's pretty ridiculous in the freshwater side of it. But then Blue Label, we want it to be that abrasion resistance, big game tough, and still give you the knot strength that you expect out of a Seaguar product. So
still double structure.
Yeah. So now pink Label single structure.
Yeah.
So and I tell everybody our single structure fluorocarbons are still the best fluorocarbons compared to anybody's out there because we make our own resins from start to finish. We're vertically integrated. We manufacture our own raw material resins. Actually, at the ICAST show, we had little test tubes of fluorocarbon resin so people could see what is a fluorocarbon resin. We actually have it in a test tube.
There it is.
And they gave it to us reps to fly home with. I go, TSA is going to confiscate this. I could see this happening. So that's really the important story is that we start with we make our own raw material resins specifically for making the best fishing line. Whether it be leader material or in the freshwater category would be fishing line.
Because there's a lot of other people out there that are just using general purpose fluorocarbon that is made for all kinds of stuff, airplane parts, cell phone parts, whatever.
Yep, exactly. So this is a company that invented fluorocarbon and continues. That's why at ICAST our focus this year was to tell our story better, to tell what separates us, what makes Seaguar. And, it's funny, and I don't want to be too long on the subject, but at our sales meeting, they brought in Mark Davis, who's, got a fishing show that's fairly well known. And he gave a little deal about, Seaguar is fluorocarbon. He remembers the first time he used a piece of Seaguar. It was on a boat. He couldn't catch a fish, and the skipper called him up into the wheelhouse and gave him, this pre-cut 3-piece section of material that he told him to tie to his line. He goes, what is this? He goes, dude, this is Seaguar. Right? And he's like, I only know Seaguar. Seaguar is fluorocarbon.
Yeah.
You guys created. He goes, so when somebody says fluorocarbon, it's Seaguar.
Yeah.
He invented it. And he said this guy had these 3-foot sections and it was precious to him. And I tied it on and started catching fish.
Wow.
Yeah, so
that's cool.
Now you mentioned the T word.
Tatsu. Oh.
That if you're fishing 20-pound or less, I look at Mike's.
Yeah, okay, I'll let Mike tell you
that stuff.
So
tell us about Tatsu.
It's, I was leery. I've fished in physics a ton, but man, you fish Tatsu, that stuff is amazing.
It's craziness.
Yeah.
How good it is.
I remember fishing at the Delta chatterbaits on 12-pound and getting hung up in the tulies and hey, we got to stop and get this. I got to knock it out. And they're like, no, just pull on it. It's Tatsu.
Yeah, you'll get it.
And I would just pull this chatterbait right through the tulies, hung up in the tulies. And I was like, it's going to break. And every time, just pulled right out. And it's
amazing strength, amazing abrasion.
Handles,
and you can fill your reel with it.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah. If you're fishing freshwater or light saltwater,
fishing in the bays and
fly fishing, leader.
Yeah, it's and I tell Bray it's a game changer. It is expensive, and so if you want to save a couple pennies on it, then fill up your reel half with braid and then top it with Tatsu so you're casting.
Like a 100 feet.
Yeah. So what you're casting so that incredible knot strength. It's double structure, so it's in that same performance category as like Blue Label and Premier, and it's
up to 25 pound.
Up to 25 pound. Yes.
Up to 25. Okay.
And we make it down to 4 pounds, so it's it's ridiculous. And then once you use it, it's pretty ridiculous.
Yeah.
You can't break 8 pound. Like when you're drop shotting with it, like you can't break the 8 pound. What the? You hang a brush, you uproot things with 8 pound. It's crazy good stuff. I love it.
You carry Tatsu at Turner's Outdoorsman?
We do.
Yeah, okay, very good. Thanks a lot for the call this morning, Cliff.
All right, let's jump back into him. This time we're going to talk to Doug, calling us from Montebello. Doug, thanks for hanging in there with us.
Yeah, a question. Right now, the tuna lasts like a 130-pound leader. Do you guys just sell that in individual strips, I guess? Or you have to buy the whole spool?
They're coils.
They're
so
coils.
There's 20.
Once you get above, you don't get the roll. You get coils.
Right.
Once you get above, is it 80?
Yeah. So when it starts at like 100 pound, or like in Blue Label, 90 pound. So it's we make 90 pound Blue Label.
I think he might have been asking for Mike, like if Turner sells pre-made leaders for flat falls.
No, we just sell the coils.
Got it.
Yeah. All right. Very good. Thanks a lot for the call this morning.
All right. Let's jump back into the phones. This time we're going to talk to Mike. He's calling us from San Carlos. What's up, Mike? Welcome to Let's Talk Hookup.
Hey, guys. This is Mike, your expert novice. Yeah, I know. Always the same. My question was about rigging, and I've heard Rick talk about using rubber bands, like on a yummy on a kite, or I've kind of heard about people using rubber bands, like on sinkers, or what is it?
Yeah, it's just you put a rubber band on your torpedo sinker and connect that to your main line, and it's just a way of getting your bait deep.
And avoiding knots.
Right. Yeah, avoiding extra knots, and a lot of times you're losing your sinker, but when you have a 200-pound on, you're happy it's gone.
Yeah, and you don't have to retie. You just basically take a rubber band, wrap it around, and you're in the game.
The rubber band just allows you, just like you said, to attach it, and it Mike nailed it. It either goes away on its own, or it's very easy to get it removed while you're fighting the fish. You don't have to tie anything to sinkers or loops or anything. You can swap it in or out very easy, but it's just an easy way to attach something to your line. And there's a lot of sinker fishing going on right now.
Yeah. And as long as you're using Seaguar fluorocarbon, you don't have to worry as much about the abrasion from the sinker, too.
Yeah, exactly. And like I said, hopefully you donate it to a nice bluefin tuna.
There you go. Thanks a lot for the phone call this morning.
Nobody's ever been bummed in the history of fishing with a 150-pounder on the deck, bummed out that their 4-ounce torpedo sinker was no longer attached to their fishing line.
Oh, darn.
Yeah, exactly. All right, how about we jump back in? Judy in Riverside, you're up next on Let's Talk Hookup. Hi, Judy.
Good morning. I would like to speak to your Turner's rep.
You're talking to him. You can speak to anybody you want, Judy.
Okay. I want to tell him how grateful I am for Lori, who works at the San Marcos store. I just got back from a 5-day trip on the Searcher with her and Wendy from Iserline. Those girls are wonderful, but Lori especially. I've stopped by the store several times when I'm coming and going from home down to San Diego. She is unfailingly patient and knowledgeable and good. I watch her with people that come in to buy something or tie a line or, whatever, and she's just smiley and kind. The giveaways that Turner's does on their sponsorship, that's nice. But having her to fish with for 5 days is better.
That's cool, Judy.
Well, I appreciate it, and I appreciate Lori very much. She's a great employee. I hear constantly how great she is, and I see how great she is. So thank you for that. And
no, thank you.
Very nice, Judy.
She's a great ambassador for fishing. And as a woman, I am so happy to have another lady to fish with.
Oh, that's
cool.
Awesome. That's nice words. Thanks, Judy. Nice to hear from you.
You're welcome.
Appreciate the call this morning. We were talking about all that great fishing going on, and we heard from Captain Art Taylor yesterday on the Searcher. Judy was just talking about the Searcher. They still have room on that limited load 3-day trip at the bargain price. It leaves tomorrow at 10 a.m., and it fishes till August 3rd at 8 a.m. You're back at the docks. $9.25, including all the food and everything. And right now, there's 12 people on it.
Oh, my God.
Are you kidding me?
And I heard there's a pretty nasty flu going around. So, I mean, if you called into your boss and told him, look, man, I mean, it's going around. I caught that thing. What do you want me to do? There's no way I could work these next couple of days.
So if you want to go on one heck of a trip, you heard it. It's biting.
Yeah.
And a 3-day trip gives you so many different options. For $925, searchersportfishing.com. You better book that thing.
Yeah.
It's like 12 people on it. I mean, so what are they going to get out with maximum 15, 18 people?
Seriously.
Something like that on the Searcher, 95 feet?
Oh, that's such a good call right now.
Oh.
Yeah, great food, everything's taken care of, awesome crew.
We should go.
They're biting. We should go.
Yeah.
I'm down.
For
Don't
sure.
threaten me with a good time. I'll go right now.
No kidding. Hey, let's go ahead and jump into the phones.
All right, how about this time we talk to Bob, who's calling us from Orange County. Good morning, Bob. Welcome to Let's Talk Hookup.
Good morning, Bob.
Morning. Great show going on.
Thank you.
I got some questions regarding the Seaguar fluorocarbon.
All right.
Okay, I'm going down to Mexico, and I'm going to be trolling some lures. Would I put it on marlin lures?
Absolutely.
Yep.
It gets back to abrasion resistance. The one main reason I fish fluorocarbon is for that purpose only, and especially with marlin. I mean, you're talking abrasion resistance with the bills, and I'm assuming you're going to be on that fish for a little bit. And, I would say it's not uncommon for people to tie fluorocarbon leaders for their trolling gear.
And here's the other factor, too, about fluorocarbon versus a mono leader is the longevity of fluorocarbon.
I was going to say.
Because how many lures do you have in your pile that, gosh, I can't remember when I rigged this thing, right?
Yep.
If I rigged it with fluorocarbon,
UV light resistant, it doesn't break down like monofilament. So if you've had it rigged for a year or two, you can feel with confidence that it's still going to perform like the day you rigged it up.
Yeah.
So.
Great deal. What about like poppers for the big yelping tuna out there that they're getting at the East Cape?
Oh, absolutely. That would be number one. Yeah, I would definitely say that. Here's the thing I tell people: there's no circumstance I think that you have a disadvantage for the most part fishing fluorocarbon. So I'm trying to think.
The blue label would be good for that?
Blue label would be great for that. Absolutely.
That's ideal.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Yeah, rig, like for your popper, just rig it with a short piece of Seaguar. I put, 130, 100, something like that on a big popper for big fish down there.
Absolutely,
And then put a swivel on it or a ring and tie it to your main line, and there you go. Just make sure that you have it short enough that you keep it outside the guides. That's the key, right, guys?
Yep, absolutely.
All right. Hey, thanks a lot for the phone call this morning.
All right. Next up, we're going to talk to Ron. He's calling us from San Marcos. What's up, Ron? Welcome to the show.
Hey, Dale. This is I won a spool of 80 pounds. It's pink in color, the fluorocarbon, and I was just wondering if I should be using that for an upcoming tuna trip. I don't know, color-wise if it matters.
If you have a spool of our pink label 80, I promise you'll want to be using that at some point during your trip.
No doubt.
And it's funny. It's you look at 80 pound in general was a size that was kind of a lost size for a few years. So we saw a lot of 30, 40, 50 like the giveaways that we're doing here at the show, and then we saw a lot of 100 and 130 and up for the bigger, longer trips. But I bet 60 and 80 were kind of a couple of lost sizes that a lot of people forgot about. And it's like, oh, my gosh, the 60 and 80 pound and 100 pound fluorocarbon sales the last few years with these big fish have been ridiculous.
Very good.
Yeah.
Now 60 and 80 pounds are most popular rental rod at the landing right now.
Yeah, exactly. So,
pretty crazy.
things come around. So, yeah, absolutely. I would definitely not hesitate in using that on your upcoming trip.
Indeed. And, Ron, you're right down the street from North County Ford and Vista. Hopefully we'll see you this Saturday at North County Ford for our live San Diego County Ford dealer broadcast. Look forward to seeing you there.
All right, let's jump right back into them. This time we're going to talk to Bob, calling us from Lakeside. Good morning, Bob. Welcome to Let's Talk Hookup.
Hey, Bob.
Hey, good morning, guys. I, too, like the pink label. I managed to pick up 3 spools of it at Long Beach show with the deals that you had. I got a 60, 80, and 100 pound. And my question is, when you're using the Sato crimp kit, do you prefer roller guides or turbo guides with the crimps going over them?
Well, I don't have any roller guide rods. I use standard guides, the SIC style guide. So I do not use it. It goes to the guides incredibly well. I don't notice any any wear or anything. And for the most part, I'm fishing about a 15-foot leader, so I am pulling that wind on or that top shot through the guides. I don't know about the other guys, what they use, but I don't fish with roller guides now.
I have them on both, have had no issues, and I think the much bigger test for anything is most of the top long-range boats, that's their default connection. When you jump on board, we hear it in that plug all the time for them, the Royal Polaris, the Royal Star, the American Angler. Most of those top boats use the Sato crimp kit for connecting their heavy line.
Seamless. And
they have, their boat loaner rods are a mix of roller guides and ring guides, and those guys have very major budgets when it comes to tackle, and fish coming on board the boat is the single most important thing, and that's what they use with both rollers and rings and have no issues.
Mike, input on that?
I'm not a crimp guy, so...
Yeah, you're not a crimp guy, yeah.
I mean,
You're tying the John Collins knot.
Or I've been doing nail nubs.
Nails, okay. All right. Yeah. A little more technical there.
I don't know.
No?
A nail knot is like the same style. It's the same thing. It's just a different. It's basically a crimp made out of 50-pound Spectra, or vice versa. You're going through about the same amount of effort and
process.
Work. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Very good. Hey, thanks a lot for the phone call this morning. A friend of mine called me last night for a fish report. He was asking me about what fishing's going on. So I opened up Fish Dope and I read right off of Fish Dope, and he's like, "Where are you getting that information?" I said, "Well, John, fishdope.com, like I've been telling you, $169, $20 off using the code Hookup Now, lowercase, no space. Go now." He goes, "That's really good dope."
Yeah.
I go, "It's fishdope.com.
Every
John.
day.
Yeah. Just buy it, and you don't have to call me anymore."
Hey, when we come back, we got more Let's Talk Hookup coming your way. We're going to find out who's got themselves some $50 shopping sprees and some Seaguar Premier Fluorocarbon. You stay tuned. More Let's Talk Hookup on the Mighty 1090.
The warm weather is here and our lakes and rivers are brimming. Just remember, if you love California and you love to boat, please wear your life jacket. And make sure everyone with you puts one on too. Save the ones you love. A message from California State Parks Division of Boating and Waterways.
Have you been looking for a live bait hook that keeps live bait alive? Look no further than Japan's leading fish hook, Gamakatsu. It's the little things that make the difference, and Gamakatsu hooks drive the point home. With an absolute perfect bend and ideal barbs, your bait swims harder and longer. And when you get bit, Gamakatsu hooks bite back with a vengeance. All hooks are not the same. Go with Gamakatsu for infinite success. Gamakatsu, simply the best. Check Gamakatsu.com.
It's Yamaha's Power the Summer sales event. For a limited time, eligible new 90 to 300 horsepower four-strokes include 2 free years of Yamaha extended service. And eligible new 2.5 to 75 horsepower four-strokes include up to $500 in dealer credit. Reliability starts here. Yamaha. Offer ends August 31st, 2017. Subject to change at any time. Other restrictions and conditions apply. Select models excluded. See authorized participating Yamaha outboard dealers for details. This promotion cannot be used with any other Yamaha offer.
When it comes to fishing rods for saltwater, there's just one name you need to know, CalStar. Take, for example, the Graphiter series. It's a true graphite and fiberglass composite rod, the finest it's ever been built. And for anglers seeking traditional performance, durability, and quality at an affordable price, the CalStar West Coast series of rods and blanks are the ones for you. Their master craftsmen bring decades of rod building experience to every rod they make. So if you want your fishing rods to be truly state-of-the-art, I always recommend CalStar at fine tackle stores everywhere.
Here's John Ireland for Rancho Leonero.
The main emphasis on the ranch, we're going to keep it old style. We're not going to change anything. We're just going to improve what we have. The kitchen is brand new. Brand new kitchen this year with all new kitchen equipment, new stoves, ovens. We put a new freezer in. We've put in all brand new split air conditioners with thermostats to make sure every room is cold. We've also worked on the boat fleet with a couple large lures, a 31 and a 34. We've got the largest Super Ponga fleet on the East Cape, all with brand new Yamaha motors. Brand new beds. We've got all Serta beds, the best beds in Baja, I kid you not. We're working all the time at the ranch. We're not changing it, just making it a lot better. That's why we get the high TripAdvisor reviews. It's my responsibility. I got to take care of you. I'll personally guarantee your best fishing experience and vacation at Rancho Leonero. RanchoLeonero.com. Our new reservation phone number is 800-646-2252, 646 Baja.
This is Greg Stotesbury from AFCO. For more than 58 years, the American Fishing Tackle Company has been recognized as the premier manufacturer of precision-built offshore fishing tackle. AFCO continues this tradition today with an innovative technical fishing clothing line designed and built by fishermen for fishermen. From our next-generation waterproof shorts like Tactical or Stealth to our new anhydrous waterproof jacket and bibs, the entire AFCO clothing line is purpose-built with the latest AFTEC fabrics and features designed to deliver for the demanding angler. To find AFCO products, go to AFCO.com and find a dealer near you.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup on the Mighty 1090. All right, we're giving away some killer prizes, first of which a $50 gift card to Turner's Outdoorsman and a 30-pound and 40-pound 50-yard spool of Seaguar Premier. That's going to David in Poway. And also a $50 gift certificate and a 50-pound spool of Seaguar Premier is going to Tim in San Diego. Guys, congratulations. You are so stoked.
Oh, yeah, you're stoked for sure. And thank you, guys. Dale Hightower from Seaguar. We want more information on Seaguar. How do we do it?
I would just say go to Seaguar.com.
Okay,
great
cool.
website.
And Turner's Outdoorsman?
Turners.com.
Turners.com, and you can find any of the 19 locations?
Yep. Have all our locations listed and get on our email list and for all our updates and sales.
Email list is great because you get all the blasts, find out what's on sale, all the good stuff.
Every week and any new stores and grand openings and all that stuff.
All that. Great. Thanks, guys. Good luck on the Rooster. You guys are going to have a great trip. I just know it. Good times. And thank you very much for listening today. And we're going to have a great show next Saturday. Don't forget, live at North County Ford in Vista. We'll be there. The Cowboy will be there giving away great stuff. We'll have Grant doing the casting contest. We'll be giving away the random, your chance to qualify for those 2 giant grand prizes that are coming up very, very soon. That's Saturday at North County Ford in Vista with the cast man, Richard Castaneda from Cast Tours. And then next Sunday, Steve and the gang from Dana Landing and ECBT. We'll be right back here in the Mighty 1090 studio. Thanks to Dennis on the other side of the board wall filling in for our buddy Adam. And thank you for listening today. We'll see you next week right back here on the Mighty 1090.